This is Duke University.
We want to make sure that young people who are taking leadership have the skills they need to be good leaders, because they're going to take leadership. And young people will step up, they will speak out, and so we want to make sure that they're equipped, that they have all the history that they need, right? Because we should learn from our history. We should not repeat the things that haven't worked, and we should go forward and go deeper with the things that have. The majority of the students we work with are from farmworker families, so they are very familiar with the conditions under which farmworkers labor and the hardships that farmworkers face, and so many of them are wanting to give back to their communities, but often don't have opportunities to do so. Being primarily Latino and Spanish speakers and some undocumented, they just face a lot of barriers and obstacles in terms of finishing school, going to college, as well as getting opportunities to explore different careers. We date our history back to a couple of projects that happened at Duke in the 80s and in the 70s, actually, that were spearheaded by Dr. Robert Coles and Bruce Payne. And Coles was really looking at impact of migration on migrant kids and wrote a lot of books about it, was really interested in whether or not college students could have a positive impact as mentors on migrant kids whose lives are disrupted. They travel a lot, they're in lots of different schools, and the idea was, can an adult mentor play that significant role? He was ahead of the curve. Everyone knows that. Bruce Payne was really instrumental in some of the early civic engagement work at Duke. He was in public policy and involved with some of the initial internship programs that were created there. But Payne was really thinking about change in a good way and really thinking about the role that students play when they go into a community that's not their own. It was very community-focused civic engagement. So it was some of those students who were involved with those groups, and particularly the last group that was connected when the Center for Documentary Studies got started in the late 80s, who started SAF as a nonprofit. And it was a couple of those students who really thought that other students should be involved with this. They were like, this shouldn't just be Duke students learning about this, connecting to this. Let's develop this further. My understanding and my strength comes from connections with individuals who are taking stances and being public on those issues. And I, again, studied with a few of those when I was in divinity school. One was Dr. Frederick Herzog, who has passed. But he helped. He told us a story once about when he was recruited to come to Duke. It was before the divinity school was integrated, and he refused to come until they integrated the divinity school. So he was a part of racially integrating the divinity school. So, I had mentors like that who were at Duke. So really, the purpose of the university should be to prepare folks for the next part of their life. And we live in a global world, we live in a multicultural world, a multiracial world, a multilingual world, and if the university is not preparing people for how to relate in that world in a good way, and how to build community, and how in a belief in community, and that we're all in this together, and what I do matters for you, and what you do affects me, then we're not doing the job we should do. It should be about preparing all of our young people in our community to be able to build a better community, period.
Produced by Duke University, online at duke.edu.